Hey guys, I'm Crystal, honestly. I am coming to you all today with this very embarrassing title about my life because, your girl's all, I'm going to be 30 soon. And I just had some very interesting people in my life that added a lot of character, made me understand what that word friendship really is. Because that word is used extremely lightly these days. And listen, I don't want you to have to go through what I went through just to obtain friendship. Now, I'm not going to be the one to say that I was the one that craved friends, because I wasn't. I wasn't the type that needed to go and look for friends or try to be a part of friend groups or, try to fit in, because I was always a loner. So, my company will always suffice. But because of the type of personality I've always had, people, they gravitate to your girl. So, and I'm not trying to say that, I'm just this popular person, but I like to laugh. I like to have fun. So, normally people like to be around high energy, things like that. So it happens, right? So, so in my years of dealing with, lots of different people, lots of different characteristics, understanding who I am as a person, I started to really deduce what I wanted in friends, because even though people come in all different, sizes, shapes, forms, personalities, things like that, I didn't want these specific people in my life anymore. And fortunately for me, I've never really had to cut ties as far as I'm done. It's always been a situation that's happened that made me decide to be bye. So, so yeah. If you want to stick around, please subscribe to me, because listen, I forgot. I got 2 subscribers since my last video. Y'all super dope. And they didn't even have to go and see my first video. So I'm liking this YouTube. Listen, I am grateful for anybody who comes in and listens to me talk, because listen, your girl can go. So I appreciate that, especially to my 2 subscribers. I greatly appreciate you in coming through. I had to let a very long friendship go. It was a 20+ year friendship. So I have been knowing this person since, I was a kid. And she was more like family to me. But understanding how people work, and how our relationship started, I had to make the very responsible decision to walk away without having a open-ended conversation, because if I hadn't, I'm sure she would still be in my life right now and unfortunately holding me down and not being able to come about and do more things in my life. So that friend that's there but never there. So let's talk about that friend. That friend, you can never get a hold of this friend, right? But they can always get a hold of you. That friend is emotionally draining. That friend always has something traumatic going on in their lives. That friend will go above and beyond for people who won't do as much as you, or won't do a fraction of what you do, but will go up for that person. That's that friend. And that is what I dealt with. So, like I said earlier, fortunately, because a situation came about, I was able to be like, you know what? I don't have beef with you, but I definitely can't be around you, because you trying to play me like a sucker. And I love the way my dad, I love the way he put it. He was just like, listen, Crystal, with people like that, they're hustlers. And once they get taught the game, they hustle you. So I was like, oh, well, I thought she was my friend. But Obviously she wasn't. But the way we came about was trauma. You know, we grew up like middle class, right? But we still had pretty rocky times in our lives, and that's what bonded us. So we had a trauma bond, because we could always relate as to what was happening, if it was our parents, if it was our boyfriends, because we were young, you know. But but it was never like on a regular scale, like, oh, John won't call me back. No, it was like some real, we shouldn't have been doing these types of things, and we were. This friend and I, we were pregnant at the same time together, you know, like stuff like that. So I always thought that if I would be nice and, you know, do what's best for this friend, and when she called, I would pick up. When she needed me, I was there, like, you know, trying to be ride or die without the death. I thought that, you know, she would cherish me more. But every time I looked up, especially on social media, now that, you know, this social media thing is at such a huge scale, I would always see somebody's face on her timeline. You know, she would be posting and praising these people and saying, you know, how they, you know, are just 100% down with her. And I'm like, girl, but I just helped you through what you just went through. And I don't want to like go into detail as to what she was going through, because listen, it wasn't anything normal. It was just bad. It was things that you see on TV. I'll say that. And I was just like, I don't understand. Like, you can't call these other friends, right? These other friends that you have. You can't call them, but you can call me. But then turn around and then I see you like splashing all of this, you know, love to these friends that you have that won't even help you in the, you know, in the slightest bit, you know. So I was just like, so the way that came to the end was, we were supposed to do business together, and I'm gonna get like, I'll go into greater detail about this because something's good about to happen next year that I'm super duper excited about. But and I'll do like I guess a story time, let me know. But we were supposed to go into business together, right? Because like, no matter what, we were always like about getting money. Like, we gonna get to the bag. So she wanted to go into business together. And she was supposed to go out of town, come back, and we get back to it, right? So when we came up with the idea of the brand, I put all my money into it, things like that. Like, I made sure that this thing jumped off, so that as soon as it jumped off, she could jump in, and then we just make a collaborative effort on to getting the money, right? Wrong. Wrong. She went out of town, right? Came back and went ghost. And I was just like, sis, I don't get it. You know? Because we were always talking about it, sort of. Because anytime I would call as far as business was concerned, I really gotta stop with this business. But anytime I would call, she would never pick up. Ever. I would text, no text back. Nothing, right? And I know what you're saying. Crystal, why didn't you say anything about the communication between you two? I did. I did. I had the conversation. Listen, you're unreliable. Those are the words that I used. You're not reliable, because anytime I try to contact you, I get no... My dog. Anyways, but you know, I get nothing from you. I get no Nothing. And she was just like, oh, you know, the excuse was, well, I get a lot of calls and messages, so sometimes I just don't want to pick up my phone. Now, that should have been my escape route then, and just say, you know what, this isn't gonna work. Maybe we shouldn't do business. Maybe we should just keep it as friends. But I didn't, right? Because I was still trying to, so I was seeing the bigger picture. I was trying to make this brand come to life, right? So I didn't. But when she came back and I was really pushing the brand, and she came back from out of town, mind you, with more friends. She went out of town with all of these friends, right? Friends I've never even heard of, friends that, you know, anytime a sticky situation would happen, I wouldn't hear about. I wouldn't hear, oh, well, I called such and such and she did this, or I called such and such and he did. None of that, okay? But these friends, you invite out, you know, to a girls trip. I don't even get an invite. But still didn't say nothing. Oh, okay, you know, because I was going through my own thing, right? So I was like, okay, well, she came back, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna sit back. And I'm gonna see how this plays out, right? Like, I'm gonna see. And no call, no text, hell, not even an email. Nothing. Nothing. She literally, she ghosted me. And I was like, before she left, we definitely had a conversation of, well, when you come back, we need to have a business meeting. We need to get on it so we can go ahead and announce the collaboration. We were going to do a giveaway. We were about to do like all these great things, right? Wrong. That didn't happen. So when it happened, I decided to cut that off. And then I see a subliminal message about me, and it goes along the line of, you know, the Lord will, you know, make people come to you and they'll expose themselves. And, you know, I just have to cut those people off because they're not for me. And I'm like, what? You know, because you do so much for people, and you really go the extra mile just for them to not do it for you. And it's unfortunate, but that was the game that was played. So I was okay with walking away from that, because it's very draining to have someone like that in your life to literally take from you emotionally, you know, mentally. It's a game. So if you ever hear those signs happening with someone that's a friend of yours, they're not your friend. Those are emotional leeches. Those are energy sharks. They are here to take what they can from you, whatever advice you have, whatever you can do for them, and bounce. So don't invest so much in these emotional drainers, because they out here. So that's that for that. Friend, I'm not going to take too much time on, because that only lasted for all of a year. Not even a year. It was just a few months within that year, because I met her July of 2018. Yeah. And we stopped being friends like the end of that year. No, I am lying. No, I met her July 2017. Let me back that up, because in the way that I met her, she helped me get a job. My sister lives next door to me, so having my blinds open and stuff, like, I can see her driveway, and it's a little distracting because she just pulled in, and like, I never know if she's gonna like hit me with or if she's gonna come, so I just have to kind of wait it out. This YouTube life is gonna be interesting. All right, so anyways, Yeah. But yeah, so I met her July of 2017, and and we reconnected that around Thanksgiving-ish, because I remember, like, I met her through a mutual, well, I'm not even say mutual, through my cousin. Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I met her through my cousin. My cousin and I are like really good friends. So, like, I don't even, like, he doesn't even feel like a cousin. He just feels like, you know, my best friend. So I met her through him. And it's one of those, like, situations of, she was good energy too. Like, she was the one who liked to laugh. She likes the jokes. She's really loud and outspoken. She would talk about Black issues like she cared, but that's to be determined after this. So anyways, so I met her. So it wasn't a long time. I'm not gonna spend a long time on this time frame. Just know that it didn't last very long, because I met her in July of 2017, but by that next summer we were friends. So it wasn't even a year. But anyways, so met this girl, very nice, again, very, you know, but the night I met her, she was super intoxicated and she was really emotional, and I was just speaking nice words to her because that's just who I am. And after that, we just hit it off, right? So I remember at that time I was unemployed, and she sent me a job that was hiring, and got the job off my own merit. And like, there was no like strings pulled, because we were both waiting, because even she was saying, oh, I'm just trying to see if you got hired, you know, like, it wasn't a whole like nepotism situation. She had no pull to get me in. But I got the job, and she started telling me about this really bad situation she was in with her roommate, right? So I'm like, it's terrible. Like, you're a great person. My very naive self. You're a great person. You're really nice. I can't believe somebody would do that to you, and you don't cause problems. And so she had already started with the job. Like, she started about a month or so before I started. That's, you know, and I got the job. So she already started to network with other people at this job. And that was cool. You know, I was glad that she knew, because I'm a little awkward when it comes to meeting people. But once I come out of my shell, I'm unstoppable. So, so she was basically very opportunistic. I didn't realize that in the midst of everything that was going on. And I could go into detail, but I'm not, because I just am giving you this information so that you can be aware of the people that are around you who are calling themselves your friend, because 9 times out of 10 they're not. So anyways, but yeah, so my cousin, she helped her get this apartment, but at that time she already threw him away. But we were having our own issues, so I was just like, oh well, okay. So so I was helping her again move all of her stuff. I mean, all of it. And when we moved further along in the job, she was telling me about all these people that I didn't know, obviously, because she was working on graveyard. I'm working early in the morning. So I didn't know anything about anything when it came to the people at this job. I didn't know what the culture was, anything, right? Okay, bet. So I was actually going through a really tough time in a bad relationship at the time, and she was having a, what is it called? Oh, I'm having a moment. She was having a housewarming because she had just moved to this apartment. And we both, and it's so funny because I bought this Ford set house party. That's so funny. Anyways, I like it, whatever. So anyways, so I bought this this dress for the housewarming party, and I had told her that I would help her with her hair, right? So because she saw my daughter's hair, I had did kinky twist on my daughter's hair. She wanted her hair done like that, and I was like, okay, cool. Now I didn't volunteer by the long shot. She was just like, you got to do my hair. Now with me being the type of friend I am, I wasn't gonna be like, nah. So I of course did it. So when I did it, it took me a while because first of all, I'm not a hairstylist by no means. So I don't have a technique where I can go fast. So it took us, well over 8 hours to do our hair. So which means she had to stay here and me start all over again with twisting her hair. So anyways, that took a long time. And something very bad happened to me that day. So she had to start her party without me. And of course she was angry with me because she had to start her party without me. But I told her it was for good reason. Like something, I got attacked that day. What's that? Anyways, but I was physically attacked that day. And I went with another friend to this party. He was already angry with her. But when we got there, me and the other friend of ours, he noticed that there was a lot of people who didn't look like us there. And that's fine, because I'm not racist, but he noticed, like, I'm not by a long shot, but he noticed that there was a lot of people who didn't look like us there, which was, again, fine. So when we got there, first of all, she didn't speak. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Even though I just had this horrible situation that just happened, I'm still here. And she literally separates us. So there is me and this friend, and then there are other people who are of lighter shades than us on the other side of this apartment, not introducing us, not, hey, this is my good friend Crystal, this is my good friend so-and-so, none of that. She literally kept us separated for that night. And I was just like, and I didn't really notice until he pointed it out. And I was like, what? So I was like, well, then why is she keeping us separated? So one of the guys that was in there was helping her cook, right? And that was fine, Long story short, I left. They started talking about me when I left, and she threw me under the bus, making it seem as though I had a bad attitude. I came in, I didn't speak, like just really petty stuff. And I was like, what? Like, why would you talk about people who don't know me about me? And when she started telling me about my behavior, and she started throwing the word behavior around, I was like, my behavior? Like, why would you? First of all, you already know what I went through that day. Well, I understand you were physically attacked, but what? She found a very bogus reason, even though we had shared so much. We had, met each other's families, things like that. I thought we're building a bond when really it was all based on bullshit. Oh, sorry. Because with opportunists, they'll see a situation that they can benefit from for the time being. And again, I didn't realize it with my cousin because, like I said, my cousin and I, we were having our thing, we were having our issues, and I didn't really see it. She basically built like this environment of, girl, I got you. I'm here for women's empowerment and black power and this, that, and the third, and and all of this, and basically sold me out for people she didn't really know. Threw me under the bus, made me seem like the stereotypical angry black woman, even though she knew exactly what I went through, and she, used me for what she needed because she couldn't call anybody else. That's the wild part. Now, she has family, and had friends, but couldn't call on anybody else but me when she needed something. It didn't matter what it was. And I was just like, I couldn't put the two and two together. So I was just like, well, how does that happen? Because I was like, I thought we were cool. I thought we were, and obviously not. But yeah, look out for those. If you're consistently giving and you're pouring out all the advice, you're giving all that you can, you're doing what, you got an opportunist on your hands, because if they just throw you away like nothing ever happened between you two, like you're a stranger on the street, you didn't mean anything. You were there for the opportunity. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, huh. But luckily, I made an amazing friend in the midst of all that, because I met her at my job as well, the job that she referred me to. And to this day, we're still friends. I see her as, that's my family for real, because she knows the importance of a relationship, no matter if it's romantic, platonic, friendship, whatever. She understands that relationship. And I remember her telling me something when I first met her. She said, Crystal, it's a shame that women don't try to build bonds stronger and try harder, even in friendships. And I was like, you got a point. And ever since then, we've been thick as thieves. And she's the Molly to my Issa. I told her she's the Tony to my Joan. Like, I love her. She's beautiful, she's smart, charismatic, like all of the above, like everything that I need that, God blessed me with, so I appreciate that, because I do have friends, y'all. I don't have a lot, but I do have people that I can call on. And even with her only being in my life for, almost 3 years, we've had a stronger bond in the 3 years than I've had with the 20 plus year friendship. And even now I have another friend who does business. She's amazing. And I've met her in February this year, but I can call her for anything. Whether it be something that I'm going through, or even if it's something she's going through, or if it's, it doesn't matter. Like, she's just like, no, I'm here for you. And you really have to take stock in your life and really start to understand who people are in your life when it comes to this friendship thing, and what they mean to you, and what they'll, be for you in your life. Because I'm telling you, time means absolutely nothing when it comes to the quality of that person. If they're gonna show up for you, they're gonna show up for you because they want to, because they care about you. People who don't care about you, even if they've been in your lives for 30, 40 years, whatever, doesn't matter how long they've been in your life, if they don't reciprocate what you're giving out, cut them loose. There's no need for them there, because for what? All you're doing is pouring, and then eventually you're going to be pouring from an empty cup. I do have a 20 plus year friendship with someone still, and that's my sister. I've been knowing her since I was in the 3rd grade, and we still talk to this day. That's still, like, I can count on her. And I let her know all the time how much I love her, because I value her. But my point is, start taking stock of who's around you. If they're not encouraging you, if they're always negative, if they're always bringing negativity to you, that's not your friend. I understand situations happen. And I completely understand when things happen. But even at my lowest point, even when I was homeless, I didn't call on all of my friends and pour that onto them. I have a relationship with God, so that's where I went, But I wasn't pouring all of that onto them to where they were soaking up what I had going on, because I think that can be extremely selfish. Now, they'll cuss me out to this day and be like, why didn't you say anything? But I wasn't that friend. I'll never be that friend, and it's important to know what kind of friend to be as well. So if you have these two, and that's not all the people that's ever came across in my life, because like I said, once I come out of my shell, I'm I'm a little social butterfly, right? So I talk to people and I talk too much. And so I've come across a lot of people. And I'm sure those aren't the only ones that I'll ever come across. But I know what to look out for now. You know, those situations, you know, from two different people from two different worlds really opened up my eyes to what a real friend is. And them. They, you know, I'll continue to pray for them. That's all I got. You know, I can't give them any more because listen, you don't mean me any good. And I don't have any hatred. I don't have no ill will. I don't have anything negative for them because for what? You got something going on in your life that's making you do this to people. And that's terrible, but I ain't got nothing for you. So yeah. But yeah, so that's how my whole spiel. I'm about to get off my box. Literally, I got my tripod on boxes. But yeah, subscribe, like, comment. What kind of friend are you? Let me know. Let me know if you've ever had any like bad friend experience where they made it seem like you were friends, but really they weren't. I would love to hear you all's experience, whoever comes across this. I'm gonna be uploading Thursdays and Saturdays, so look out for me. And have an amazing day. I love you, honestly. Peace.